All right, here we are. I'm going to start off just by doing some collective readings, okay? So if you're joining in, this is going to be collective messages. We are doing collective messages. Welcome, anybody that's just joining in. We've just gotten started doing some Monday night energy readings. Let's see what the collective energy is. My goodness. Okay, starting off with a collective message here. Death and rebirth. Nine of Swords in reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse. A lot going on internally here. Genesis, absolutely. Go ahead and throw that question in, and as soon as I am done with this little collective beginning here, I'll go ahead and answer your question. Okay, so death and rebirth. A lot going on tonight, a lot going on this week and in the coming weeks. We're getting close to the winter solstice. So we're reaching a time of rebirth, which is death and rebirth. That's what it's telling us. We're reaching a moment where we are shedding our skin. We're kind of giving away to the darkness what needs to be left behind, and we are bringing things into light, okay? So we are leaving behind fears and anxieties that are doing nothing but hold us back, okay? And we're done with just being uninspired. We're done with letting those fears get in the way. So what's the advice moving forward from that? Release some of the burden. Fight for what you actually want. Like there's a passion, there's a fire here, okay? So you have to let go of some of the burdens that you're carrying on you right now. That's kind of where these fears are coming from. You're not giving yourself enough space for what you really want. Okay, so that you might need to let go of some things that are on your plate, some things that aren't super important. So before I lose the question in the comments, I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to answer Genesis's question. Let me look up here. Okay, Genesis. Your boyfriend Javier, there's a sudden change in how he feels about you. How can we fix what's going on? Okay, Genesis. How can we fix what's going on here? Okay. So let's pull a card to represent each of you in this situation. So let's see what represents you in this situation, Genesis. Okay, you're still ready for romance. You're still ready for the next steps. The Knight of Cups, like you're stepping up. You've really romanticized this relationship. You see it going farther. And what represents him in this situation? Okay, I'm going to get some clarity. What represents Javier in this situation? He's reminiscing about how things used to be. So was there some kind of change in this relationship that may have happened recently? Maybe there's some growth, like things are kind of growing in opposite directions. So it looks like he's reminiscing on how things used to be. He's thinking about the past. He's trying to move forward. So he's thinking about the past, but trying to move forward, trying to make plans. So what is the problem here? Okay, the problem at hand being the Seven of Pentacles. Just if you could get a little look about this. This is about conserving, okay? This is about planning for a future. This is planting seeds of growth. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. I'm going to go back up. Where did I just saw your name, I swear. Okay. We had an argument about how we should spend more quality time because he lives far away. Okay. Yeah, so this is about planning for a future, right? This is planting seeds of growth. So that being an obstacle, that would make sense if you're having a disagreement about how to spend that time and how to conserve for your future. So that's where all that planning comes in then. So let's see, what is the solution? How can you communicate back and forth in a way that's healthy? How can you find compromise in this situation with one another? Okay, take a pause. Chariot in reverse. Okay, you need to slow down, take a quick pause. Think about what you're looking at. Are you trying your hardest to see the positive, or are you trying your hardest to see the negative? Are you thinking positively, constructively? Because like there's nothing wrong with feeling the feelings of a situation. You know, if something's disappointing, it's going to feel disappointing, and it's okay to feel and acknowledge those emotions. You have to make sure that that's not what you're looking for though. So you have to try to kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel. But this, like the Chariot in reverse, is definitely like, hey, whoa, slow down. Feels like it's just like it's gone too far. Like the conversation's gone too far. It's stopped focusing on the right thing. The focus is off on the conversation. And then the Seven of Wands is kind of like rising above the argument itself. It's worrying about finding a solution and not who is right or wrong in this situation. And that has to be a mentality that's agreed upon from the beginning. So that has to be the conversation that happens at the beginning of this, is like, okay, I want you to know that I'm not trying to attack you personally. I want you to know that I'm not trying to make you feel hurt. I just want to express how I'm feeling in the situation. Can we try to find a solution? So being goal oriented in the conversation might be a useful tool here. You know, trying to rise above the high emotions and see past it, and see that everybody involved really wants to build something, and it's easy to be impatient in these situations. But something is being built here. There just has to be clear communication, if that makes sense. Okay? All right. Hi. Okay, hi. We have viewers on YouTube as well jumping in. Good evening, Andrew. And of course, yeah, throw your questions in the comments. I am also live on Twitch and TikTok. So I have questions rolling in from a couple of different avenues here. So I'm going to keep an eye on both of our comment sections. But if anybody has a question, I will do my best to answer as many as I can tonight before I gotta go, which I got about an hour or so, I think. So I'm focusing on the questions. So on YouTube, it's easier because I usually don't get as many comments at one time, but on TikTok, I do get quite a few of these comments at the same time. So just know if I'm not getting to your question, it's not because I don't want to. It's just because there's so many. Okay. Andrew from YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and answer one from YouTube before I come back to the TikTok comments. What does the universe want Andrew to know about the next few weeks? Ooh, Temperance. Okay. Let's see where this is going for Andrew. Queen of Wands. Okay. All really positive cards here. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Some collective energy because we get the Chariot in reversed again and the Seven of Wands. Okay, let's see where this story is leading us to. Oh. Okay, there's a lot of major arcana cards in this spread. So if you're new to tarot, major arcana cards are the cards that aren't related to any of the suits. So they're not related to the wands, the swords, the pentacles, or the cups. They are their standalone cards and they always relate to major life themes. So when you see a lot of major arcana in one place, you're looking at major life themes here. So this one we have Temperance, which Temperance is such a cool card. Temperance is one of those, it reminds me of the sign Libra. Okay, because it just accommodates all these different perspectives. So there's a lot of balance. So within the next few weeks, you gain balance. This feels like a gain in perspective. Okay, and that gain in perspective is related to confidence and how you carry yourself, how you inspire others, the energy that you bring to others. So this is like learning how to drop the mask, learning how to be the true self is what that feels like. But there's that repeated theme that I was talking about in the last reading. We had these two cards. So there's a little bit of collective energy going on right here with the Chariot in reverse and the Seven of Wands. So the Chariot in reverse is kind of like, okay, you're going to get stopped in your tracks. It's you might have been charging forward on something and now you're coming to a screeching halt. But it's only because that there's this like lesson to learn with the Seven of Wands. Like you have to learn some kind of adversity here. So it's like sometimes you go through challenges specifically because you have to like quote unquote toughen up. And that's kind of what this feels like is it's building resilience. So you've gone through something recently that has built your resilience and it's made you no longer afraid to embrace your whole self, all the dynamic parts of self. And once you do this, we have the Magician. So that means that you basically have your choice, whatever you want to do with your life in the coming months. It's totally up to you because you are comfortable being exactly who you are in your own skin. So there's a lot of confidence to come within the next couple of weeks here. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that that resonates. That's a really good energy to resonate. Yeah, no, Temperance is like the goal in life. Like that's where you want to be. You want to be that person that kind of emulates that energy around them. Because other people pick up on that. You know, it's kind of makes you the peace bringer. That's amazing. Thank you for your question. Okay, I'm going to come back to the TikTok comments here. I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to pick one of the recent comments that is speaking out more than the others. Yeah, anytime, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining and commenting. Okay, I'm working on comments here. Bear with me. Thank you for everybody that is joined and everybody that's hanging out. We're just doing a little Q&A here and a little collective too. So I'm starting to do collective readings here and there in between some of these questions. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to be silent. I'm just reading through Oh, so many questions. Okay, relationship ones are so difficult. I hope you guys know that. But I try to give you as much guidance as I can through these relationship ones. Those are the hardest questions for the universe to answer because there's so many choices that everybody has. Okay, Maya, let's figure out what's going on with you. I just saw your name come up. Oh, where'd you go? Should I wait or leave the person who broke up with me but says she still loves me? So you want to see if you need to like wait for this person, or if it's time to move on, right? Maya. Okay, great. Okay, what is going on here? Eight of Swords in reverse. You're tricking yourself here somehow. This is kind of like self-gaslighting type feelings. So what is it that you believe here? Oh my gosh. Okay, the Tower, Four of Wands in reverse. Let me see where this continues. I have a good idea of where it's going. Interesting. Okay, so I'm trying to see if what the cards are showing me is what you want to hear, or what you want to see, if this is kind of what's going on in your mind, or if it's in part of the reality. But I'm seeing this huge shift here. But let me see, it's the Eight of Swords that's throwing this vibe off for me, because it's almost like you're telling yourself something that is restrictive in this situation. So what is it that you're telling yourself? Okay. So what you've been telling yourself, maybe it's more of a fear. Like you're afraid of being controlled. The Emperor in reverse here. It feels like there is something like that going on. Like you're afraid that this situation is going to get controlling. There's some trust issues here. There's some major trust issues. But this situation sounds complicated, okay? So like the Tower and the Four of Wands in reverse is a breakup, right? So this is like the whole world comes crashing down. The family falls apart. There's this change that just deconstructs everybody involved. It's not just one person or the other. Everybody involved goes through some kind of transition and change due to this breakup, due to these situations. So afraid of being controlled. Page of Pentacles in reverse is kind of like a fear of being held back in a material sense as well. But then we have like the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups that comes after all of this. So it's like, was this breakup, was this change something that changed both of you in a way that makes it conducive to both of your growth? Or is this kind of just a hope, you know? So what is the reality of the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups? Is it real? Is it more of like an idea? It's a full-on direction, okay? I think there's some things that you have to be careful of in this circumstance. I think like there's growth that has to happen on both sides here, but on your side, I think it has something to do with security and self. Like the Empress in reverse is giving me a sense of like self-value. So it's almost like there's some insecurities that are playing into this a little bit, but nothing that can't be worked with, because we have like the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess. So it's like this situation, this chaotic, crazy, awful feeling situation changes something in you that connects you to yourself. It connects you to your highest self. You're learning something very spiritual in these moments. So I think like this is a time for you to direct a lot of energy inward. Figure out where you sit spiritually. Really slow down with yourself. There's a call to like following intuition here. And then the Ten of Pentacles. So it's just a huge potential here. Okay. So I think that there is a potential to go in a good direction, but it's going to take work from both sides. Okay. Going through more comments here. If you're just joining in, we're doing collective readings and we are doing answers to questions. We're doing a little Q&A. I'm seeing some complaints in here, so I'm just gonna say, and you're welcome, Maya. I answer questions to the extent that it feels like they're answered. Yeah, the sun, positivity. Yes, we're gonna fill this space with positivity. We're not gonna be negative. We're gonna be patient, because I'm gonna answer any question that I can to the fullest extent that I possibly can. I'm not in this to get rich. If I sell readings, that's amazing. I love to do it, but I'm just here to help guide people. I'm spending some of my free time here in the evening doing exactly what I love to do, doing some collective, doing some Q&A, and I appreciate all of the engagement so much. And hello to anybody just joining in on YouTube as well. So if you have questions, please let me know. I will do my best to get to as many as I can. Okay. I'm just working through. Tracy, you're still here, it looks like. You're asking about if you and Daniel should work out, or will work out, or if you need to move on. Okay, Tracy. What's the situation looking like with Tracy and Daniel? Ooh, very intense. Okay, I'm feeling like a lot of practical energy, but not a whole lot of emotional energy here. Hello on YouTube. Yeah, okay, very intense energy. Like, someone here is thinking all about logistics and none about emotions. There's a ton of boundaries up in this situation. Okay, you've got someone in this situation, and it actually feels like him has all these boundaries up, thinking about logistics and how things get complicated, planning for the future. Yeah, no, I'm feeling like no emotion from this situation. Just a whole bunch of logistics, like trying to balance. Ten of Pentacles. I think it appears harsh from the outside. Sorry about my dogs. Yeah, Yeah, this feels like a person that is like everything has to be just so, right? But it doesn't feel like there's a bad intention behind this. Like there's the 10 of Pentacles. It doesn't feel like the intentions are poor. It feels like all of this concern is logistics. Okay, so how do we fix the communication here? Because I feel like that's what it is. It's just, it needs to be communicated. Something needs to be communicated on both sides here. Whew. Okay. This wasn't just insane. Okay, an insane combination to come out at once. 3 major arcana cards. The Hermit, the Lovers, the High Priestess. The thing that needs to be communicated is it's your dynamics here. And it has to be communicated in a way that he's going to understand. Because there's like this hermit energy here, which tells me that you're somebody that absolutely needs a little bit of alone time, okay? That's you rejuvenate in that space. You got to have your me time, but you also have to have passion. It can't be about the logistics. Like you want to know that this person really cares. Like physical touch and words of affirmation, and not necessarily just about the roles that you're both filling in the relationship. It's about how you connect with one another. You want connection and touch. You want to feel seen. You want to feel heard. You want to feel loved. But you also sometimes want to be left alone, and that's perfectly fine to want to be left alone sometimes. But there has to be balance. And if he's a person that wants to be left alone a lot, there has to be balance. So that's what has to be communicated. It has to be communicated gently. You know, it can't come off as an attack. It can't be like, you never hug me and that makes everything awful. And yeah, I don't know. It can't be an argument. It has to come from a place of compassion as well. It's like you have to set the example. He might not be somebody that understands how to be compassionate and how to show those emotions passionately. You know, he might show his love in completely different ways that might not be received in the same way. So I think that having a conversation about genuinely wanting to have that kind of romantic connection could go a long way in this situation. It doesn't feel malicious. None of the energy here feels malicious. Okay. I'm coming back, looking for comments. Naya, I see you. I see you. Okay. I was back looking for your comments, and then I scrolled down and I saw more of them. So I know that you're definitely here. So for anybody that's just joining in, we're just doing some collective readings, and we are also doing a little Q&A. So I like to do a lot of Q&A, and then I do one big 10-card collective reading at the very end. Naya, okay. Let me get that energy again. Will Jaden come back to Naya? Let's see. I try not to do fortune-telling type readings. I try to dig into the feeling underneath the question. I try to see what kind of guidance we can bring in this situation. So let's just get a feel. Let's just get a card that gives us a feel for this situation here with Naya and Jaden. How did things end? Well, it's... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. This is crazy. What a wild reading. Okay, I know that that's 0% helpful, but I am organizing, I promise. So, the first two cards that we get here, Naya, the Emperor and the Empress, both in reverse. Man, there's there is so much power. You guys are both very passionate people. I feel like there's a lot of high energy here. There's a lot of like the divine masculine in him. There's a lot of the divine feminine in him. You guys make a pair when you're healthy. But when you're not mentally healthy, when you're disconnected, you tend to bring out the worst sides. And I think that that's a result of not putting in the self-care that you both need. I think that there's too much investment in trying to make the other one happy that you're just making yourselves miserable on the outside. Does that make sense? Like being so completely consumed by the energy of what's going on with this person that you've drained all of your energy, okay? And then this person's doing the same thing. So the Emperor and the Empress energy, wow, strong, powerful. But when it's right, when it's good, like this connection, that connection is both spiritual and logistical. Like, I feel like the two of you have really cool conversations, right? I feel like when your minds collide, you have some very interesting conversations, and sometimes that might cause friction. There might be some friction involved in this. So there's going to have to be change. Yeah. Let's see. I want to see how you can approach this, because I'm seeing like growth and emotional maturity being something that's a factor here. It's just like needing to I didn't realize my dog was behind me. Yeah, it's about finding that emotional maturity, and I think it's on both ends. But there's like the Three of Wands, which is moving on, and then we come into the Tower. Okay, moving on, and I look up and I see leaves for college next week. So things are changing, things are moving. And the Tower is kind of like that feeling that everything, like the walls are coming down, the whole world feels like it's ending. So what does this connection look like over the next couple of years? What is happening? Okay, Three of Pentacles in reverse. A period of isolation, a period of like not working well with one another. But then, okay, we have Ten of Pentacles, and I've seen the Ten of Pentacles so much in the past few readings, in the past few spreads. It's like, this is what everyone is striving for. This is a part of a collective message as well. Like, this is what we're all striving for right now. Ten of Pentacles. So it's like there's potential, but what is it going to take to reach that potential? Oof, the High Priestess again, the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Swords. You're going to have to start taking yourself seriously. You're wrapped up in what your life looks like without this person, but it's right here, it's right in front of you, it's happening. I don't think you get a choice in the fact that it's happening, and that's unfortunate because it does feel like the whole world is coming to an end. It feels like the walls are closing in on you. Everything's caving in. But if you want to be able to pursue something real with this same person in the future, you're going to have to take yourself seriously. You're going to have to think really seriously about what it is that you want, who you want to be. You're going to have to connect with highest self. You're going to have to find self-fulfillment. You're going to have to find what happiness looks like for you as an individual without somebody else involved. So I feel like that has to happen in order for this to all come back together, if that makes sense. All right, hi for everybody just joining in. Welcome on YouTube and Twitch as well. We're doing a little Q&A and we're doing some collective readings. Okay, let's see what else we have. Naya, so yeah, essentially there's a potential. You're going to have to work at it in the future, but I think that the focus has to shift for now. So he can come back around. It's a potential, but are you going to be the same person after you've focused on yourself? There's a lot of things that could change in that period of time. So I can't say definitely that he'll come around or you'll come around, but the cards are giving an indication that there is a potential for that future if you find what makes you happy as an individual. Okay, Lexi. Lexi wants to know if Joe wants to be in a committed relationship. So let's look at the situation as a whole, okay? What's going on with Joe? Two of Swords in reverse. Let's see where this is going. Oh. This is another one of those situations. There might need to be some focus inward on this, Lexi. Two of Swords in reverse, Six of Swords. Like, those indicate moving on, but it also indicates like that something's being hidden. Something's hidden here. And then Six of Swords, you have like moving on and taking lessons with you, leaving certain things behind. Yeah, but then you have like this be open to any possibility type feeling here. The Page of Cups, but the Empress in reverse is like, hey, that energy needs to be inward. It needs to be nurturing from the inside out. So what does this say about Joe's level of commitment here? Judgment. Two of Cups. Okay. Maybe just not immediately. I feel like this is something that he wants to take seriously. Joe wants to be real serious, I think. But there's some things that have to happen first. Make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay. So like that's like a good signal, right? So we have the Two of Cups and we have Judgment, which is just like that, like following the calling. It's just being connected to destiny, being connected to highest self. And then Two of Cups is like that union. But I think you have to be open to looking inward because there's a lot of fears here. Okay. Oh. That makes so much sense. He just got divorced. You just left your son's father. You ended up really connecting really well, but you want to rush. He wants to take his time. And that's okay. This guy being 100% serious makes total sense for that. It's just like, he doesn't want to jump. He wants to build. He wants to build it from the ground up. And I think it's because there's an understanding here that you're just both walking away from something. And that influences a relationship. You know, if you jump too quickly into a new relationship after you leave something that is damaging, you can accidentally take old feelings into a new relationship. So I think that that's why the process has to be slow. Okay, so you have to be really open minded about taking your time and working on yourself in this process too. Really romanticize it though. Like, get excited about what this looks like. Oh, this looks like healing. The Three of Swords in reverse. Ah, I got chills. Okay, Three of Swords in reverse. It's like this time that you're getting to know each other and connecting with one another. Oh my gosh. Stop. The Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So it's just like being open to working on yourself, to healing together. You're healing with one another here. Tears, bro. That's so cute. You build this like emotional maturity for yourself, this emotional assurance, this safety. It's like you build this feeling of safety with one another. So just take it really slow. You have the potential here to grow into something that is really long lasting, beautiful, something that stays connected, you know? Like, it's not just like, okay, well, we had one good year and then we started fighting all the time. No, like, this is, you're building something that is just like that couple, you know? The one that is just like, yeah, no, we don't fight, we discuss. So, you're building something. Enjoy the process. And thank you for your questions. Okay, I just saw Haley. Could I get a general guidance reading? I'm just doing what sticks out to me the most, guys. If I don't get to your question, I apologize. So let's see what's going on with Haley. What is going on here? That Ten of Pentacles keeps creeping up on us. I tell you what, that's about like, man, those are the end goals. Okay, so what is going on? Okay. This is intense. Okay, general reading for Haley here. This is some pretty intense energy here, Miss Haley. And it's so all over the place. What is going on here? Wow, okay. Karmic endings. So we have Justice in reverse. Something happened. Justice was served in some sense. And I'm trying to figure out if that's on your side, if you just learned a karmic lesson. Actually, that's what it feels like. It feels like you've learned some kind of karmic lesson. It doesn't mean that it was negative. It just means that it was very internal. You might be feeling some kind of energy shifts. But we're also seeing Knight of Pentacles here, which means that you're about to put work into something. There is something very off about this energy. Almost in a scary way. I don't want to say like scary, like in a way to scare you, but there's something that feels genuinely interesting and off about this energy. It feels pretty funky, Haley. It feels. Do you have like a cloud? Like it feels like there's a cloud here. It's like a dense type cloud energy is the only way that I could describe it. Like it feels, are you having a hard time expressing yourself? I don't like this. Are you having a difficult time with expression, especially emotion? Maybe you're having a difficult time with anger, with balance, the temperance, the tower. Okay. As of right now, I am answering Haley's question. This is not a collective. I will actually be doing a collective right after this. Haley's question stuck out to me, and I'm seeing why. Okay, what's going on? Disconnection from intuition. Tower moment. Feels like there's just a lot of chaos that's happening around you. So let's just see what needs to be done here. How do we get rid of this funk? This funky energy is like, it's clouding judgment, it's holding back expression, it's disconnecting you. Yeah, it's even like making it difficult for me to connect to this energy. Like that's how powerful this is. And you got bad news too. I just told I wasn't getting return off an internship at a large company. So that could be, yeah, I'm seeing like bad things are happening around you. I'm gonna recommend that you cleanse your energy. Okay, and so this is like one of those like gate kept things. When it comes to cleansing spiritually, you don't need any special tools, okay? You don't need 8 million crystals. You don't need a smoke bundle if you don't have one. I like to use tools. I love using cards. I love using smoke blends of different herbs. I love using candles. Sometimes you have nothing, okay? Sometimes you don't have anything. But if you do have something, then great, then light a candle or light an incense. Write your intentions down. Whatever it is, make it a ritual that feels right to you. It feels right to your energy, but there's something clouding your energy, and I don't know if it's due to a person or just some kind of spiritual energy. There's some kind of temperance is coming out over and over and over again. Okay, you need to like really lean into positivity right now. It's like angel energy. Okay, I'm getting like chills from this, like mad angel energy. I think like you need to call in some guides. Like I this is the strangest question answering Q&A I've ever done on a live. This is the strangest level of energy. I'm at a loss for words. I feel choked up. Like every time I answer questions pertaining to tarot, there's an energetic channel that opens from you asking your question to me answering it. There's an energetic channel there that connects me to you because the intention is passed. Okay? And so when I accept that reading, I accept that energy. A lot of times I can feel what you guys are feeling. So in this sense, there's something funky, and I recommend cleansing, doing some kind of cleansing ritual for oneself. Bath ritual maybe. I love doing those, an egg cleanse, whatever whatever you do to cleanse your energy and ground yourself, I would put those protections up spiritually. Okay. So, hi to everybody that's just joining in. We're answering some questions here and there. No problem, Haley. I really hope that helps. That was it was an interesting energy read. So everybody that's just joining in, oh, Haley, one last thing. Don't trust the energy. Like there's something spiritually in your space. Like the spirit messaging is coming through loudly on that fact. It can't be trusted. And that's what I'm feeling from this end. Like it feels cloudy, sludgy, and icky. So it doesn't feel spiritually trustworthy. All right. I'm going to answer one more question. I feel like that was a long one. Sorry, guys. I really had to get all of that information out. It was wild. Okay. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to answer one more question before we do one big collective reading. Okay. It's going to be 10 cards. Looking through. I'm seeing a lot of love readings, so we'll probably do some kind of collective love reading, but for now, Gypsy Drifter, you're asking if you've been cursed. Okay? That's a very important question that needs answered. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out to that one, and we will do a collective love reading. We'll do a few cards for that, and we'll do a full collective big 10 card reading. But Gypsy, I think that question really needs to be answered. Okay. Gypsy Drifter. Five of Wands in reverse, the Hermit. Five of Swords. I'm actually getting that there has been an attempt. And I usually wouldn't confirm that so loudly, but we have the Five of Wands in reverse that came out with the Hermit, which speaks on conflict, usually. So conflict and isolation, like an attempt to isolate. So it's like if someone's putting ill intentions on you, the intention is to isolate you for one reason or another, to block your prosperity. That was kind of covering those cards. And then the Five of Swords and Eight of Swords is aiming at filling your head with all of these. It's like gaslighting. It's filling your head with all of these little lies about yourself. It's trying to make you believe in the negative, that nothing's going right. But it's not affecting you to the full extent that they wanted it to. So I'm going to recommend a cleanse for you as well. I would definitely say cleanse and maybe even return to sender. Return to sender would be a good one, but it's not working the way that they want it to work. Like, you are stronger than what they're trying to block you from. So yeah, no, my recommendation in this case would be a return to sender. Give them the energy back. You don't claim it. Send it back where it came from. If you're feeling a little spicy, give it a tenfold. That's what I usually like to do. So keep those protective boundaries up too. Do your best to try to refresh boundaries. Get yourself some kind of routine or ritual in which you really enforce your energetic boundaries every day. Okay. So thank you for everybody that's been watching, asking questions, joining in. No problem. Thank you for your question. So we've got a lot of love questions here. Everybody's asking about their love life right now. So we're just going to do like a quick couple of cards to talk about what's going on with everyone's love life. So this is a collective love reading. Let's do 3 cards here. Okay, perhaps 4 cards, because 2 came out with that placement. Ooh, okay. What's going on with everybody's love life right now? Okay, we have the Fool in reverse. Oh, it's like being pushed off a ledge before you're ready. So whatever change recently happened in your love life, it wasn't a step that you wanted to take. So this feels like painful endings as much as it does painful beginnings. This is like, it's painful beginnings is a really good way to phrase this, I think, because it wasn't a beginning that you asked for. This is going to have an effect on you for a little while. There's going to be a little bit of back and forth. So there's the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. And this is where this back and forth is coming from. You're going to have moments where you feel emotionally fulfilled. You're going to have moments where you have that breakthrough. Like kind of what we were talking about earlier is like, I don't need a person to survive. Okay, I don't need a person to be emotionally fulfilled. So you'll have that feeling at times, and then at other times you might not trust it. The 7 of Swords. You might have a very difficult time trusting other people here. So what advice do we have for the situation? You stepped off of this ledge you didn't want to step off of. You're feeling disconnected. You're feeling hurt. You want emotional fulfillment, but you're not sure if you can. Oh, King of Swords, Knight of Swords. There's gonna be a period of time that you have kind of a hardened armor, a hardened shell. You're gonna be taking a lot of actions in your life, and it'll probably be developing your life a whole lot further. But you might be a little hardened for a little while. Like the situation, this ledge that you've had to leap off of, the situation that took you by surprise, it might harden you for a little while, but you're gonna let it go. Okay? 5 of Cups energy. You are going to let it go, and it will be okay. There's this 9 of Pentacles energy here. You're gonna find peace and happiness in being independent, in letting this situation go. So if you've been forced into a situation, you've been forced to let go, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to take some self-work. You're going to take life more seriously for a while. It's not going to feel as bright, but you're going to find that inner light again. You're going to learn to let the past go. So we're going to do one more big collective reading. And that's probably the weirdest comment I've ever received on anything, but I'm just going to ignore it. This is how you know you made it, is when you start getting the really weird ones. Okay, so we're going to do one big collective reading, and this is what I call a Celtic cross reading. So we are going to do 10 different card placements, and it gives us a full overview of the phase of life that you're in right now. So let's start with a significator. This card represents you in the current moment. Things are a-changing. Fast moving change happening in your life right now. So that is the energy that you are emulating. Like you're inspired, you're ready to take action, you're ready for the change. Well, ready or not, you're in it. You're moving with it. So what is your obstacle? It's exactly that. That is your obstacle, is all of this change that's happening too fast. It's moving too fast. You don't know how to keep up with it. Yeah. And to add, you didn't ask for this. There's that Fool in reverse again. Things have changed too fast and you didn't ask for it. Okay, so that is the obstacle. For anybody that's just joining in, we're doing one big collective reading here with 10 placements. So right now you have this significant change happening in your life, and your obstacle is that change because you didn't ask for it. It's happening to you, and your choices are to roll with it or to try to resist it. And I don't think that resisting it is going to serve you very well. Oh no. Okay. So the next position that we have is going to be what is behind you. So what is in your recent past, the kind of energy that you're stepping out of right now. Okay, what are you stepping away from? What kind of energy are you leaving behind? Okay, 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay. 3 of Cups in reverse. That's the energy that you're leaving behind. You're not going to do things on your own anymore. I feel like this is the energy of somebody that is just like, okay, if I want it done right, I'm going to get it done myself. You're stepping away from that. So it feels like you're learning some collaborative skills. You're realizing that not everything can be done on your own. Sometimes you need the village, you need the community. So that's a lesson that you might have learned recently. Is just like, okay, everything changed and maybe you used to be able to do it on your own, but you're not able to do it on your own anymore. So you're gonna need some community in this. So what's coming next for you? Change is a good thing, okay? Ace of Pentacles. Change is not a bad thing here, okay? The next step is material growth. Okay, this change is going to bring you into a more successful phase of life. So it may feel crazy right now. It may feel like something that you didn't want, but the universe knew what was going on when she switched it up on you. Okay, so what is above you is kind of what's hanging over your head the most right now. What seems to be occupying your headspace the most. So what is above you right now? We have 3 cards there. So King of Wands in reverse, Empress in reverse, Judgment. Okay, it's like, what was I meant for? What was I made for? This is hanging over your head. This is a very big question to ask yourself. And it's paired with the King of Wands in reverse and the Empress in reverse. So it feels like you're grasping at straws here to figure out what it is that you're meant for. What is your divine purpose? And you're so burnt out that you can't see it. So you're worried about gaining this, but all of the efforts that you're putting towards it are simultaneously burning you out. Okay, you're not taking enough time to do the things that you're called for. So you're wondering what that calling is. You're wondering what that divine purpose is. Like, what am I going to do with all of this change that's happening? Like, what am I meant for? What does it mean? So you're putting so much energy into that you put too much pressure on yourself to be divine when you just already are. So look inward instead. Nurture the things that are begging to be nurtured. Only you are going to know exactly what that means. Okay, so what's below you is like this hidden part of you. It's a... Boop. Okay. Oh my goodness. had to save it. It was going to shut off on me. Okay, what is below you is a part of who you are. Okay, it's like this hidden talent, something that you need in order to get through this phase, but it's a part of you that you're not betting on enough. So what is below you? Oh, you're already healed. You've already healed from so much. You've done a lot of this. The Three of Swords in reverse. You've already done a ton of healing, okay? And Six of Pentacles. You know how to make good choices. These are things that you need to think about in this phase of life right now. Like, okay, you didn't ask for whatever you're stepping into, whatever you're jumping into. Everything's changing around you really fast, and you have to keep up, and that's scary. You're going to have to lean on people now. But think about like 5 years ago. The version of you that existed 5 years ago couldn't have handled this. That person could not have handled this. You've healed. You have healed. You are given exactly what you are able to handle, and you're handling it right now. You know how to make good choices. You know how to make smart choices. You've been through enough. You're being handed exactly what you need to be handed. This is what's going to bring you success, even if it feels hard. Okay, so how do you feel about yourself right now? Oh. You are seeing yourself as being someone that's hardworking. And you're taking yourself seriously. You're taking your vision seriously. You're taking this phase of your life seriously. You know that this is like, okay, I mean business now. Life means business now. It just got real. So you're hardworking. You're handling it. You're taking care of things. You have vision. You're executing that vision. And you're also recognizing that you have choices. You're not confined to just one thing. And you know how to make the right decision on those choices that you have in front of you. And you can work hard enough to make any of those choices. You know, anything lines up, but you have to focus on what it is that you really want. Your purpose is going to be what you're naturally inclined to do. It's always hidden in your passions. You know, that's why we're here. We're leaning into our passions, right? So what's your environment look like? That Knight of Cups. That Knight of Cups has been around so much today. Your environment is not bad right now. So your environment isn't just your home. It's not where you live. It's not just like your family. It's everything. It's everything you consume. So it's your scrolling habits. It's, do you read? Do you watch movies? Do you write? Are you artistic? Are you putting a lot of energy into projects? Okay. So your environment isn't in a bad place right now. Honestly, you're kind of learning how to fall in love with life again. You're learning how to fall in love with what it is that you want to do. I feel like this is very artistic. So there's something in your environment that is very conducive to growth. All right, let's do hopes and fears. Your hopes and fears. Oh, man. So you realize that you're it now. Like, you woke up and you're a grown-up, okay? You have all of these responsibilities. Whatever it was, something changed overnight and you didn't ask for it. So you're a boss now. All of a sudden you're a grown adult who has responsibilities, and that's terrifying, but it's also in your hope category. So it's honestly something that you're stoked about. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. I am an adult. I'm a responsible party. I can manifest my desires. I can be anything that I want to be. I can bring anything that I want to life. Like, that goes into like figuring out what that divine purpose is, that thing that's hanging over your head and causing you so much stress, it's the thing that's right in front of you. It's the thing that you're already most drawn to. Hello on Twitch. The stream goes good. We're streaming on, we're on YouTube. I say we, but we as in me and all of you guys. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on TikTok right now. And we are just pulling our final card in this big collective reading. Okay, the last card is your outcome. What is the outcome of this phase for you? Oh my goodness. Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Page of Swords. It's a lot of clarification needed there, okay? So, Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Page of Swords is the outcome of this phase. You've been searching so hard for what's right for you that you have a ton of things to let go of now. You found a lot of things that weren't right for you. It's like the definition of insanity is just like trying this thing over and over again. You're just trying to do what everybody else is doing to be successful. So you're going to have a shift in the mentality. You're not going to try to blindly follow what other people are doing. You're going to let go of those ideas that other people have that makes them successful, and you're going to find that one thing that makes you successful. So that was the final card in our big collective reading, and that is all the time that I have for tonight. I've got to go make dinner for the family. So I appreciate everybody for joining in. If I did not get to your question, I apologize. I try to get through as many as I possibly can as they come in, but I also try to answer each question that I answer as authentically as I can. So there's a lot of cards that come out with a lot of these questions answered. So I hope that you guys have patience with me there. I try to come back on live every couple of days. Today I came on this morning and came back on this evening. But if I didn't get to your question and I wasn't able to answer it and you really feel like you need it answered, I do have multiple reading options available on my Etsy. The link is in my bio. So there's multiple options now. I updated it today. It used to be just that you could get a Celtic Cross reading like this, and just the virtual PDF version, but I now have multiple versions of tarot readings available on Etsy, so you could book just a 3-card PDF reading, or I could send you a video format, so to be very similar to how I'm talking to you now, you'll get a video explanation of your tarot reading. I also have a live reading booking available as well, so if you wanted to have some one-on-one time, some Google Meet time for 30 minutes or so to do 10 cards or more, whatever fits into that 30-minute segment, you can book that also through the link in my bio. So I invite you to go check that out if I was not able to get into all of your questions. But thank you so much for spending time with me tonight. Thank you so much for commenting, asking questions, sending gifts, and engaging. On across all platforms. You guys really made my night, so thank you so much, and I will see you next time.